Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and yes, I'm going on another rant. Um, I just don't know where to begin. I mean, you heard me rant about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, where they're basically trying to, the Canada and U.S. and I think 10 other or 11 other countries are talking about a basically global-wide free trade deal. And personally, I think this is one more step towards one world government. And let's face it, folks, our governments can't even manage their own problems, let alone hopping on board with a bunch of other countries that can't manage their own problems. And I mean, they're already doing things like raising chicken in North America, shipping it to China, having it processed there, sent back, and labeled as made in America, when it's processed in one of the most dangerous places in the world. Let's face it, China's the place, remember, where they were dressing up pork and selling it as beef. Their organic stuff is grown in sewage pits with their farm raised fish has got human waste in the water. Like, come on, that's just all there is to that. If we're just hearing about this global, worldwide, Trans-Pacific Partnership, you can bet your bottom dollar they don't let anybody know anything until it's pretty much a fact, so that there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we're already halfway there. I just saw on Facebook, yeah, I get a lot of my information from Facebook, but I check the links out too, and I will post the links for any articles that I show in picture or that I quote, which I'm really not quoting any because you guys are just going to have to read this. You're not going to believe it. But I will post the links in the description box below the video. There's a new bill that, of course, was introduced to Parliament on December 9th, when everybody else is Christmas shopping and thinking about peace on earth and goodwill to men, and nobody wants to think about politics because it's Christmas time. They introduced something called Bill C-18, the Agricultural Growth Act, Omnibus Bill, amending several federal agricultural laws, was introduced in Parliament on December 9, 2013. If passed, it will give multinational agribusiness much more money, power, and control while increasing farmers' costs and reducing farmers' autonomy and Canadian sovereignty. Okay, in a nutshell, that means huge industrial farms and companies like Dow Chemical, Monsanto, Pioneer are protected once again. Small farmers are not going to be allowed to save their seed that they've been doing year after year after year to clean it and save it for the next year. They're not going to be able to harvest it, clean it, if, of course, it has been tainted by patented seed genes. In other words, again, if you got a field of soybean and one field over is a Monsanto, Dow, or Pioneer genetically engineered crop, and it cross-pollinates with your crop, which is going to happen because, let's face it, something that stupid should be done in a bubble. I mean, if you are going to mess with the genetics of the plant life on the planet, it should be in a closed environment. And I'm not talking the planet's closed environment. I'm talking in a bubble, folks. Because all this does is it'll cross-pollinate somebody else's field. And they, of course, when they go to harvest their seed, clean it and save it for next year, Monsanto, Dow, or Pioneer is going to come marching on in saying, you are illegally saving Monsanto seed. They're going to take a sample. They're going to have it tested, and of course it's going to have the genetic modification strain in it because it's been contaminated by the field next door. And again, the farmers are going to go to bat, and they'll lose everything because Dow, Pioneer, and Monsanto have the world by the short and curlies when it comes to lawyers and finances. They got it coming out the yin-yang. Nobody can beat them. So, Mr. Harper, Mr. Prime Minister Stephen Harper, why are you allowing this? Is it a case of, well, all my friends are jumping off the bridge, so I got to do it too? Are you that much of a lemming? Please, please, don't go off that cliff. Oh, and, it wasn't that long ago, a bunch of iron workers were laid off when they were working on the tar sands project. Within, I don't know how many hours it was. I don't know how soon it was, but they were replaced with Croatian workers. Why? Because they demanded less money. Now that's all been fixed. Oh, we didn't know about it, and we never thought they should have been placed somewhere else other than in the iron workers' jobs that we just fired. And the iron workers have been rehired. But what if that hadn't been caught? This is the kind of crap that the Trans-Pacific Partnership is going to bring in, is already bringing in, as if it's a law. Okay? We're going to be able to offshore, which we already do, absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Okay? They're going to be able to bring in workers. Workers are going to, from other countries, are going to compete to come here. Why? Because they can get paid twice what they would at home, but our companies will pay them half of what we get paid for workers who are licensed tradesmen. This is the kind of crap that a one world government is working towards. And if you don't think there's a one world government on the agenda to come, wake up, folks. Please wake up. And, just out of, if you remember back in the 2011 election in Canada, robocalls. These are computer phone calls telling people which voting stations to go to for the federal election. And of course, the robocalls, because it's not a person, it's a machine, nobody's to blame, right? They were sending people that were labeled non-Tories, okay? That means people who aren't progressive conservative. Those people were getting calls from a computer sending them to the wrong polling stations, okay? Oh, it was all a big, very upsetting muckety-doo and no one was to blame. Bull. I just read an article, and yes, I'm sorry, folks. The article's dated May 2013, almost a year ago, but it doesn't change the truth. And the truth was, by law, let me see, the Canadian Federal Court has confirmed that the country's 2011 federal election, which led to the victory of Stephen Harper's government, was fraudulent. Okay, can I repeat that? The Canadian Federal Court has confirmed that the country's 2000 federal election, which led to the victory of Stephen Harper's government, was fraudulent. That means fake, wrong, messing with the books, okay? So can I ask one question? If this was found out in May 2013, why the hell is he still in office? I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, my Canadian's showing because I'm apologizing all over the place. I'm not sorry. What is he still doing in office? Why is he still allowed to make such huge decisions like introducing Bill C-18? These are mega decisions that are going to affect us worldwide, not just countrywide. Okay? The Trans-Pacific Partnership, huge deal. Huge deal. Okay? Why is a fraudulent party still in office, still making these decisions? Because guess what? If I had a job and I lied to my boss, and make no mistake, folks, we are the people that supposedly, well, we didn't put the conservative government in 2011. So if I made all these mistakes, if I lied to my boss and lied to the customers and lied to the people that trusted me, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't be married. I wouldn't have a family. You know why? Because we just don't tolerate that kind of shit. As human beings, we don't tolerate liars, cheats, and thieves. The Progressive Conservative Party, you do not represent me. You're fired. Goodbye.